Okay, so I was stitching along and my thread is snapped. So what do you do when it snaps on and you're using a Q-bot? How do you line it up again? So these are the questions that I often get asked by people because they see that I'm using a Q-bot and they're not 100% sure, or they've only just started learning it. And these are some of the questions that have come up over time. So my thread's just snapped just there, which happens, you know, there's a weak spot in the thread or whatever the case may be, or sometimes change of materials can break a thread. That happens. So basically what I do is I stop the machine. Okay, I haven't stopped Q-bot or anything, so the machine's not going to move from where it is. And if we come up to the headboard, you can see there it's got continued, so I've just stopped the Q-bot. Okay, so the quilting is stopped and I can continue on, but it's not going to stitch because my thread has broken and it's not going to pick the bobbin up, and or it's going to cause a bird's nest on the back if I continue going. Okay, so and this is the same for if you run out of bobbin as well on the Handi Quilter Avante Q18. And with the Q-bot you do the same thing. You stop the machine and you go up to your headboard, and basically what we're going to do is we're going to do a percentage restart. So I go here and I move the arrow across and it says restart, and I go yes, and then it'll ask me how far back I want to go. Now that's just released, the Q-bot has just released the machine, so the machine can now move, and we basically do a percentage restart. Now it's probably at about 70%, but I always go that one extra just to make sure, and make sure that the quilt machine's not moving. So I hold it in place and I press yes and press go to hover. So what it's going to do now, it's re-engaged again, and now it's going to move the machine and hopefully end up where I ran out of thread. So it's actually further back, maybe. Yep. Okay, so I see here I haven't gone far enough, so it'll just keep moving along, but I don't want it to do that, so I'm going to hit stop. And we're going to go to the percentage restart again. And I'm going to go back to about 62. Press yes, and it's going to hover. So you can see there it's gone back and it's found where the stitching was, and it's going to just travel along until I get towards the end, and I stop about a couple of stitches back. So about there is where I'll pick up the stitching again. So I bring up my bobbin and then I just basically hit quilt. So after that, so I've pulled my bobbin up and you can see there it says quilt, so the hovering is stopped. If I press yes, I can start quilting from there again, and I'll have to press yes twice because it'll go, do you want to quilt? Yes. And then it says press go to start. So I can fine tune it. So if it's sort of come down just below it, I can move it up 1 or 2 stitches in the pattern to make sure that it's correct. But as you can see here, it's lined up over that pretty good. So I can pick my bobbin up from there and I can just continue quilting. So I hope you like this tutorial today on how to do percentage restart on your quilt with a Q-bot. And till next time, happy quilting everybody.